Suppose you are a great racing enthusiast. You know where you're going. There is a there is a place for all the horses to go. You are also going to go there. You are interested in racing. Okay. You are the fastest creature on earth. And there are other kind of heavens. This is a heaven of Ashwas. The next heaven that we may think of, Kinnar heaven, this heaven, that heaven, you name it. You want to go to any of these heavens, you are free to go there. But these heavens get destroyed. The deity and the divinity who is ruling these heavens is also destroyed. Because at the end of the yugas, all these heavens collapse within and everything comes to me, Shri Krishna says. So all the worlds from Brahmaloka downwards, every heaven, if you try to go to this heaven, there is always rebirth over there. You cannot be liberated if you go to these heavens. So you can try going to any heaven you feel like, you are not going to be liberated at all. No liberation for you. There is no enlightenment. There is no liberation. There is no way of reaching the Brahma. You have to come back to earth again and deciding on what kind of positive or negative karma you have done, you will get a body. Alright? And the body is not going to be human. Guaranteed. Whereas, those who think of me, they will come to my heaven. And my heaven is indestructible. And I grant you freedom also. You can be free, you can be enlightened, you can go to Brahmalok, that is Brahma, and you can be totally liberated. Doesn't really matter. But my yuga, my loka stays the same. We are doing chapter 8, verse 12 and 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. Having controlled all the senses and firmly holding the mind in the heart, and then drawing the life breath to the head, and thus remaining steadfast in yogic concentration on God, he who leaves the body and departs uttering the one indestructible Brahma, Om, and dwelling on me in my absolute aspect, reaches the supreme goal. So this is a technique which Shri Krishna has explained. Let us try to understand this step by step. First and foremost, you have to control all the senses. If your senses are loitering here and there, it's not going to help you. So what does it mean? Senses are going about here and there means you are bothered about food. Okay? You are on a death row and you are saying, where is the burger that I had ordered as my last meal? It's still not come. You are focused on the meal. If you are looking around, everybody, you are lying in a deathbed in a hospital and you are bothered about your relatives. Oh, my wife, where is she? I'm about to die, she's not near me. Or the children, they are fighting amongst each other. Before the father is dead, they have already started fighting on property. You are overhearing certain things. The doctor is telling his nurse, his case doesn't look good, I think he will pop off very soon. You have heard these words? Your mind is aflutter, it is going all over the town. Or you might be an 80-year-old film star who is still having children and he is bothered about child custody, and the woman is just around 24 and you are 80-year-old and you are thinking, I should get the child custody, and there is a court case going on. And at that time you pop off. Are you thinking about all these things? Or there are certain places where the cost of funeral is higher than the cost of birth. In some countries, it is like that. Oh my God, if I die, how are these people going to raise money for all the funeral ceremonies? What kind of casket am I going to have? Casket? Have you taken that place which I recommended for you? It's in that cemetery. Really? You are bothered about after death what is going to happen to that stupid bones of yours or the ashes of yours? All these thoughts are creating a lot of confusion in the mind and in the senses. If that is the case, you are going nowhere. You are going to become a ghost very soon. And you are going to be running around all these things that you have asked for. You may be, in the hospital. You will be running around in the hospital doing "oh" to everybody. In the corridors you will find, oh, there is a ghost in the corridor. Such kind of idiots exist in this world. They have so many desires in their life. What is going to happen to my property? Well, why don't you live in the property like a ghost there? Go stay in that house like a ghost. Good for you. What's going to happen to my children? What's going to happen? You are dying, sir. Die. Go die. Don't bother so much about money, children, this, that. All these things. You should not be bothered about some petty stuff in life. Firmly holding the mind in the heart. Why is the mind in the heart? What does this mean? The mind is comprising of a body, a sheath. It is from top 6 inches above your head to the toe. It is literally like a covering. This mind has got many centers. The most important center of the mind is the heart, where it is called the manas. You have to focus on the manas, on the center in your body. It is near the heart chakra. Keep your mind ensconced in that small space. Don't dwell here and there. Who lives in that heart? Your sweetheart, Shri Krishna. So, your mind is continuously going towards him. He is standing over there, or maybe he is lying down or doing whatever. Maybe he is doing a dance. Just focus on to him. Your mind has to be dwelling in this place. And then drawing the life breath to the head. Drawing the life breath to the head. The channel of the sun, from down to up, it has to be coming and concentrating over here, in between the two eyebrows. When it is concentrated, yesterday I explained to you all how this has to be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. U-turn. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. When you do this hold, in the center of your eyes, your connection to your skull, the brain inside, which is called the Sahasrahara also, is established. Remember, there is a channel over there in which you are supposed to enter. So the life breath enters this domain over here. So when you are exhaling, the last breath, finish, hold in this part, And when you hold in this part, what happens is you have reached and thus remaining steadfast. And then drawing the life breath to the head. You have done this. So far he has explained 3 steps. The first step is all your senses have to be zeroed. No thinking of anything, no looking here and there, nothing to be done. All your senses have to be shut off. All the lights, senses shut off. Second, hold the mind in your heart. Think only of the Lord. Third thing, the breath has to be drawn because when you die, you use the last breath. Isn't that what you do? It is the last breath. So the last breath has to be drawn towards this particular domain, which is in between the eyebrows. There, the Agya Chakra is there. So you bring it up to there. So you are establishing the connect with the Sahasrahar. A domain, a passageway opens up. So thus remaining steadfast in yogic concentration on God. So now this is the yoga, the oneness with this divine. Okay, you have established your oneness, your channels are open towards Shri Krishna only. So when that is happening, he who leaves the body, the person is leaving the body now, departs uttering the one indestructible Brahma. Om. You may wonder whether this actually happens or no. I explained to you, there are the 2 words which are there, which happens in the breath. One is called the Hamso and the Soham. The Soham happens. You have established oneness with the divine, and with the breath, the last breath, Om, and the person is dwelling on me in his mind. Remember, his mind is now concentrated in the heart. When this person is concentrated in the heart and he is leaving his breath and utters the word Om, the person reaches his ultimate goal of reaching Brahma. So this is how Shri Krishna explained the death. We have to practice this continuously. First we have to control the mind, control the senses, all those things. We got to do it step by step. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 14. Arjuna, whosoever always and constantly thinks of me with undivided mind, to that yogi ever absorbed in me, I am easily attainable. You have to constantly think of me. Thinking of me. Where do you think? The mind. See, the mind is a very important tool. We have to know this tool thoroughly. In the mind you can create and you can destroy a lot of things. You can create diseases of different kind in your mind. I am sick, I am sick, I am sick, I am sick, I am sick. If you tell yourself you are sick, you don't have to bother your head about it. You will be sick instantly. I have a cold, I have a cold, I have a cold, I have a cold. You have a cold. I am stressed, I am stressed, I am stressed, I am stressed. Congratulations, now you are in terrible stress. You can create whatever you want to in your mind. All these imaginary diseases, imaginary pains, hurts, whatever you want you can create. All the psychological problems are connected to the mind, isn't it? And these psychological aspects are mind-based. You can tell yourself you are a sick human being. I have to take my medicines, I have to take my injections, I have to do this, I have to do that. Of course you are going to be sick forever. There is no escaping the mind. So the idea that you have created this in your mind is very, very important. I also give an example of a child. A child is running and the child falls down and hurts himself. The mother immediately comes and distracts the child's mind and says, oh, there's nothing, that's nothing, that's nothing. And maybe she hits that place where he's got hurt, down, maybe the earth over there or something, the table where he hurt himself. She will do one tap to the table. Hey, don't hurt my baby. And the child is happy. Or she will distract him by saying, I'll give you a chocolate. And the child stops crying. Mind is a powerful tool you can use for positive or negative in this world. I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. You will never be able to sleep. I got pain, I got pain, I got pain, I got pain, I got pain. Of course you are going to be a painful creature yourself. So mind is a tool. You have to control it. You have to control it. Medicine or any other thing is not the answer. People try all kinds of stuff. They go to doctors, they go to hypnotists, they go to all kinds of people in this world. They even come to Babas, spiritual people. And the spiritual people, they look at these idiots and they say, oh, this person has pain and now he's come to me. So the spiritual person says, okay, do one thing, take this, put it in water and drink it. Your pain will be gone. And that person says, Baba, you have performed a miracle. My pain is gone. It has nothing to do with Baba. It has everything to do with you, baby. You are the idiot who has come with these kind of things. I got pain, I got this, I got that. It's your mind. So, what is the distraction to this mind? Remember, the mother gave the chocolate to that child. Somebody is dead in the family. The person, the spouse keeps on crying, hey, this person is dead, this person is dead. What? This person is dead? And on that day, they may not eat their food also. I don't feel like eating, 2 days later, they are hogging themselves. My husband, he used to love this restaurant. I am going to the restaurant and I can hog for him also. Oh, double hogging? We have idiots in this world who behave like this. Oh, we have to make those things which they love, We have the ceremony. And in the ceremony, you will make all those things which that person loved. And who is eating it? That poor idiot is already dead. You are eating it. Oh, I have to celebrate this for the dead people. Well, it is your mind you are celebrating about. Good riddance to bad rubbish. So this death and all is considered as a great thing. It is only mind-based. It is nothing to do with that person or the person who is dead. Nobody gives a damn after 2 days. Everybody runs after their money or whatever they have left behind. Or somebody is going to come and take away whatever you have. This is the ultimate. So Shri Krishna says, the distraction to this mind has to be done. So can you concentrate on me alone? I am love and devotion, the epitome of love and devotion. Come to me, I am love incarnate. Whosoever always and constantly thinks of me. So the mind, you shift your focus on to Krishna only. And with undivided mind. To that yogi ever absorbed in me, I am easily attainable. The person is easily attainable to such kind of a person who is focused only on this. The idea about ostentations or the way in which you do it It's not important to Shri Krishna. Please know this. Krishna is not bothered whether you give him fancy clothes to wear. He is not even bothered. He is not even bothered about the jewelry you put on his image. He is not bothered about the 56 type of dishes that you make. He is not about the decorations in the place. He is only interested in the decoration of your mind. Are you decorating your mind with my thoughts only? I don't want you to go about doing all this nonsense. Just focus on me, that's it. And then you will come to me. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 15. Great souls who have attained the highest perfection, having come to me, are no more subject to transitory rebirth, which is the abode of sorrow and transient by nature. So Shri Krishna is explaining here. He says, once you have focused only on me, not on your wife, husband, children, property, none of these things matter. Because at the end of the day, they are all transient. They all go away. Everything goes away. You may be owner of a great property. The property will go to ruins. You may have your wife. You may have your children. They'll all go away. What difference does this make? But I am always there, isn't it? So why don't you come to me? I can offer you complete freedom. No rebirths. But if you are focused on your children, you are focused on your spouse, you are focused on the property, you are focused on any other thing, you will be reborn exactly over there where they are concerned. Like I said, it is not necessary that if you are focused on your wife, you are going to be born as a husband next time. I said you may be born as a dog or a cat or some such kind of a creature. Does it really matter? And your wife may be a mouse in the next birth and you will be running after her. Tom and Jerry. Who says you can't do that? Of course you can do that as well. You are running after your wife this time and there again in that birth you will be still running after her because she's a mouse and you are a cat and you are going to run after her. This kind of things happen. So the idea that you are going to be doing something, don't get bothered about it. So rebirth is a dangerous thing. There is no human birth after this. The kind of mediocrity that everybody is having today, does anybody think that they will be born as human beings again? I doubt it. Everybody will be born in lower wombs. Maybe the nth version of coronavirus for all you know. And some person is going to put one vaccine for you. We don't know. So this kind of thing may happen. So then why are you bothered about all these rebirths and all that? And don't bother about these desires. So focus only on me. You will come to me. I will give you that liberation also. And you want this Brahma also, I will give you that as well. So great souls who have attained the highest perfection, you have attained the highest perfection because you are not thinking of any crap in this world. So you have attained me. Your mind is completely empty of all the things except me. I am the only one who is filling 100% of your mind. You can come to me and with no more subject to transitory rebirth. So there is no rebirth again, which is the abode of sorrow. So every time when you are born, you are going to be full of sorrow only. You are only going to be miserable. The more misery you want, please we have rebirths. So there will be no sorrow if you are not born again. And this kind of sorrow is continuously coming and going. Good. So now we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 16. Arjuna, all the worlds from Brahma Loka, that is the heavenly realm of the creator Brahma, downwards are liable to rebirth, to birth and rebirth. Bhattasanokanti. On attaining me, there is no rebirth. For while I am beyond time, regions like Brahma Loka, being conditioned by time, are transitory. So any person who is believing in any God other than Shri Krishna, if you are believing in some other God, that particular heaven you will reach. Suppose you are a very devout follower of Brahmaji or any other God, maybe Indra or somebody, then you will reach their heaven, that loka. Maybe you are a great artist, maybe you draw something, maybe you dance, maybe you sing, maybe you are a great person for opera or whatever. You may be a great actor. Well, your heaven is going to be Gandharva Loka. It is a lower heaven. You are going to be born again. Next life, maybe you will be born as a prodigy. By the time you are 1 year old and 2 year old, you will start playing piano very nicely. It's not magic. In all your previous lives, you have played piano, so this time you think you are something great. Well, you are only looking at the physical age of the human being. Well, it's not the human being that we are talking about. The body is only a covering. You are reborn. You are thousands of years old and now you have taken birth. If you have done thousands of years of practice of piano and now you are born and you start playing piano like a genius, what is the big deal that you have done? Human beings love to admire such kind of activities. They say, wow, he's a virtuoso, no? Look at him sing. Look at her sing. At the age of such a young age, they can play this violin, they can play the mandolin, they can play this. Oh, really? Don't worry, after you die, you are going to this heaven. You may be a great singer. You will finally go to that heaven. Suppose you are a great racing enthusiast. You know where you are going. There is a place for all the horses to go. You are also going to go there. You are interested in racing. Okay. You are the fastest creature on earth. And there are other kind of heavens. This is a heaven of Ashwas. The next heaven that we may think of, Kinnar heaven, this heaven, that heaven, you name it. You want to go to any of these heavens, you are free to go there. But these heavens get destroyed. The deity and the divinity who is ruling these heavens is also destroyed. Because at the end of the yugas, all these heavens collapse within and everything comes to me, Shri Krishna says. So all the worlds from Brahmaloka downwards, every heaven, if you try to go to this heaven, there is always rebirth over there. You cannot be liberated if you go to these heavens. So you can try going to any heaven you feel like, you are not going to be liberated at all. No liberation for you. There is no enlightenment. There is no liberation. There is no way of reaching the Brahma. You have to come back to earth again and deciding on what kind of positive or negative karma you have done, you will get a body. Alright? And the body is not going to be human. Guaranteed. Whereas, those who think of me, they will come to my heaven. And my heaven is indestructible. And I grant you freedom also. You can be free, you can be enlightened, you can go to Brahmaloka, that is Brahma, and you can be totally liberated. Doesn't really matter. But my yuga, my loka stays the same. We absorb all these other lokas on the way. At the end of the yugas. We are doing chapter 8, verse 17. Those yogis who know from realization, Brahma's day as covering 1,000 Mahayugas and so the night as extended to another 1,000 yugas, know the reality about time. Now we are going to discuss about the time. Shri Krishna is saying, Brahmaji's day and Brahmaji's night. These two things are very, very important. Okay? Now, I want you to think about this. There is Indradev, there is Brahmadev, there is Vishnu, and there is Shiva. All these are gods. They all are ruled by time. Everybody is ruled by time. At the end of their time, that means like the end of your time, when is your time? At the time of death, correct? You are also dead, isn't it? You take up another body after death. So after death and before birth. Now what happens? There is a finite period. Finite means you can say the time between this and this. It is there. Alright? The Indradev has got 1000 human years as a time period. He is there as Indra for 1000 human years. So if I count from 0, when we started our calendar, till today, how many Indradevs have come and gone? 3. Every 1000 is 1. So today we are having the 3rd Indradev. What happened to the first 2? They got dissolved. Similarly, here Shri Krishna is giving the idea about Brahmaji. Brahma is the creator, right? So his 1000 years is equal to 1 day. 1000 years, 1 night. So like that, Brahmaji opens his eyes, day. Brahmaji closes his eyes, night time. So Brahmaji has 1000 years to live. So 1000 into so many thousands. So that is his time. And he lives for 100 years after that. So he's got 1 day and 1 night, 1 day and 1 night, 1 day and 1 night, like that it goes on for 100 years of Brahmaji, which is equal to, his 1 day is equal to 1000 years. This is a simple calculation. Don't bother getting into the semantics and don't try to think, oh no Guruji, it is 400 years or 500 years. Don't bother about it. If I go outside this galaxy, those years will change. Right? Would you agree with me? Because time is a very relative factor. Right? So this time is a relative factor. So don't bother your head about it. It is just for understanding that this verse is there. So what Shri Krishna is trying to convey over here is even Brahma's time is ticking. Brahmaji also disappears at the end of his time period. So then what heaven are we talking about? Brahma's heaven? That also goes away. So this is the reason why we don't have to bother so much about the time factor. We don't have to bother about rebirth and all those things. If I am only thinking of Shri Krishna, why do I need to get into these calculations and mathematical equations? Only idiots want to get into the mathematical equation. Oh wow, this many years. You know, funny part was they were celebrating some 5000 something years of Shri Krishna's birth. It's a very surprising thing that Shri Krishna himself doesn't know when he is born. And they celebrated his birth 2 days ago, or maybe yesterday or day before, and saying, oh, he's so many years old. Really? Sir, the time is him, not this time of yours. Do not try to mix around the human time with his time. So the idea about some 5000 years and whatever years is all utter nonsense. Don't bother. Your time is not the same as his time. Somebody was telling me that he was born on a Tuesday or something like that. And then maybe, Jesus Christ was born on 25th of, December. Really? No, it didn't happen like that. There was one great priest in 16th or 17th century. Well, he was trying to do his calculations. And he found that half or 1/4 of a year is never calculated by human beings. So what he did was, he brought February or March straight to September. So what happened to those days? He ate them up. So from 17th century onwards, the 5-6 months that existed in between disappeared. Why? And then that day might have been a Sunday. When you woke up the next day, it was, instead of being Monday, it turned out to be Saturday. How does that work? So don't go by these dates. These dates are useless. So here Shri Krishna is saying, the reality of time has to be not bothered about so much. Because even Brahmaji's heaven disappears, Brahmaji himself disappears. So this Mahayugas and all that, don't stress yourself out. Alright? So we will stop at verse 17.